This model kit review is of the Moebius models 1/25th scale Batmobile. This is the one from the Dark Knight, and has some nice art showing you the finished product. And looks like there's another picture here on the back. Shows you some of the other options they have, other kits. And let's have a look inside. It's a fairly large box with a lot of parts in here. So let's open up some of these and see what we have. It's all molded in black. And looks like we have some body panels for the doors. Fairly well molded with detail levels. There are some mold lines. There's also some flashing here. That's easily removed though. But you have some nice details here. Here's the other side. Again with some mold lines and flashing. Looks like this is probably part of the inside with some level of detail here. And another body panel with unfortunately a fair amount of flashing and mold lines. Here's some additional parts, lots of little parts, lots of little detailed parts here. Most of them fairly well molded with the occasional areas of flashing, but all in all it looks pretty good. Here's another one. Many parts of the suspension. There's a fair amount of little parts to build to give some suspension, possibly some exhausts here. So over here it looks like we have some of the seats. Very nicely molded. Some additional body panels, possibly some engine parts here. This one doesn't have much flashing or mold lines, with some nice surface details. Here's the back of the seats, the tanks. These look like wheels. So look at these details. These are very nicely molded actually. Fair level of detail. And now clear plastic parts for the windows and windshield. Now these wheels, definitely these ones look like for the motorbike version, which is usually hidden inside this Batmobile. So we'll have to see in the instructions where that comes in. Looks like we have an axle, probably for the rear, because the front did not go all the way across. These are very nicely molded tires. This box is full of parts. Really have a lot of detail here to work through. This looks like possibly part of the windshield area. And all the different body panels. Probably the dashboard here. Also very well molded, lots of detail. And other body parts, probably suspension and drivetrain there. Also looking at some body parts here. Here's the other side. Lots of nice details. I'm not entirely sure what many of these parts are, because it looks like the whole body gets built up. This looks like our windshield. Probably parts of our chassis, as well as this part being part of the chassis here. Let's have a look at our instructions. So first we're going to build the seats in the center console and dashboard, then the insides of the walls of the cockpit, putting that all together on the in the cockpit on the chassis, and building the rest of the cockpit. Then putting together the front windows, some of the suspension parts, putting together wheels, and some other wheels here. Those go on the front with the brakes and shocks. And these are the back wheels, back suspension, drivetrain, the engine parts, and this is the airfoil which goes in the back, putting the engine onto the main chassis with the wheels, and putting together the rest of the body panels, all the armor on the side, and with some other parts there, putting together windows and door panels. There's a fair level of detail on this model. Then putting together the roof and the windshield wipers, and then finishing up with the rest of the body panels. And these are actuators or hydraulics to move the different body panels. And then painting guide to actually show you the finished product, which actually looks very nice. A lot of detail here on these pictures to show you what you're supposed to be painting it. And transparent black should be used for the windows, which is interesting because they gave you clear windows instead of dark ones. So that looks like a fairly detailed model and should produce a good one at the end.